Tarot Mi Amor. It's Friday, so that's Sagittarius Capricorn day. Here we're going to do a singles reading called the Four Pillars. A little different, I think, for singles reading. And we're doing this, I call it for super singles, because this is when you have no one on your mind, you're really available, wide open. And we're going to try to take a look at your soulmate and ask Spirit to show us your soulmate, who's the right one for you, not your next ex-wife, ex-husband, ex-problem, but the one that's right for you. You're right. If they're right for you, you'll be right for them. So we're not messing around. We want the good stuff here. And this one, the right one, your person. Okay. This is for the third week in April here. Really, it's for whenever you watch it. It doesn't matter. If it resonates is the important thing here. But, it's a tricky reading because likelihood is you haven't met this person. If you met the person, unless it was if you met the person, you haven't started crushing on them in any way yet, or the heart spread be the one to pick up on it. It could be both too, and I haven't thought of that. I mean, heart spread could describe a similar dynamic from a different angle. But here we're going to try to look at your person, Capricorn. What do they like, emotionally, intellectually, sexually, in terms of love, in terms of their lifestyle and their core values? Let's really take a look. Go deep dive on your person here. We're going to pretend like the airport's cleared the runway and they're coming down and landing. Maybe they've been circling around for a long time, so they couldn't get to you, but now you're wide open. You're ready to pick them up in a limo and take them to where? Wherever you want. Steakhouse maybe. Vegetarian, not so much, maybe a Thai or Indian restaurant. Let's get down, sit down with them, get to know them. I swear to Tower. This is their emotional nature. It's not quite the same, and wow, with the 10 of Wands, this kind of reading, but I shuffled 6 times really well before we started, before I even started the video, after the last reading, and the Tower was in the exact same position. And I have the exact same meaning. It's at the top here in terms of their emotional nature. Having gone through a difficult childhood, which I had the reading earlier, was like, I said, the story that's going to be amazing is going to make your person stand out of the shoes. They had a wonderful childhood. It's not really being cynical. It's like, there's probably fewer people will say that than others. But remember, this is your person. And I think emotionally with the 10 of Wands here, what this is saying is they've had to put a lot of work into keeping themselves stable emotionally. And just to clarify this, you see, it takes them emotionally. Oh, this is not about third parties here, not in this read, not here. This is in their emotional life. What they do, because this is your person that helps them emotionally to relieve the stress that they feel, is they unwind and try to have fun. Now, in this relationship, this is not going to be at a toxic level here. But this is just someone, I think for them, like, they really need to be in the moment. It's difficult for them to be in the moment for some reason. Probably, their constitution, childhood, and they really like being in the moment. And they'll make the effort. It's like they'll actually make an effort to do this. So, like, it could be they could just be kind of feeling a little tired, but they're like, you know what, I'm not going to just sit around and feel sorry. I'm going to pretty myself up. I'm going to go out and have some fun. And this is the way they are. And then intellectually, looking at the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. Okay, again, a little bit of different reading. So, the Queen of Pentacles, practical mind, it could indicate they're a little bit traditional minded, kind of energy. They're strong in their mind. They're not going around looking for themselves, you know. Like a King of Pentacles, but it's just a little bit softer, a little more receptive energy to them, and grounded. They're someone that's not going to say things if they're not sure about it. They're not into speculation. They may be the kind of person that it particularly is oriented towards facts. And they may not love so much like the tarot and stuff like this. But maybe, because I see the Page of Wands as being highly auspicious, in this reading. It's not about messaging and all that. It's like they intellectually are very intellectually curious, like genuinely intellectually curious. So this allows them to open their minds a lot for a Queen of Pentacles. And also with the Queen of Pentacles, they're not afraid to tackle something. They're like, go ahead, explain it to me. And they're not worried about it. They're eager, kind of eager to now this you may see, finally something you may see as you're talking, like, and they may show towards you, because quickly upon meeting they will some level recognize the energy here. And just because people, I've learned, are not into the esoteric stuff doesn't mean they don't have energy and pick up energy. So I think they will, and they're gonna light up like this when you talk and stuff. They're gonna be like, "Oh, really? Tell me about that," in a very genuine way. And that's part of this Three of Cups for them here. That it's like they need to get out of themselves. They like to get out of themselves. That's part of it too. And Three of Cups is emotionally just giving your energy out. A Two of Cups and then your Three of Cups. You can be that. They always talk about it's being the third party, but it can be a couple that now wants to go out on a date and have some fun. That's your third cup. Is having that. And it's also like that romance phase, just in a relationship. Now we're just looking at the person here, so they like that energy that gets them here. So they'll be like open-minded, and they're like I say, kind of traditional. They're probably gonna like family home and values like that, family home, country. But they'll be kind of open-minded because they're curious with this. So like if they're an older person, they might say to a younger person, "Well, could you explain to me what that acronym means that you just used, LOL?" Something I would ask. So there's that kind of open-mindedness about them. I'm looking at sexually, the Four of Swords. But don't freak out. Oh my God, and the Ten of Swords. Okay, maybe freak out a little bit. Remember, this is your person. Nobody's perfect. This person could be really, really hot in terms of just sexually. And then the Eight of Swords. This is in their core values and in their lifestyle. The Four of Pentacles. This is going to be very different, I think, than what people might be thinking if you read tarot. My opinion, okay, how this works in this reading. And I'll start with their core values, leave the sex to last, do the romance first. But because they've had these problems in the past, how we act in life, our values, and stem from that. As I told you, they're probably family, home, country. Kind of conservative in a way, but again, this is your person, that they're open-minded as well. They don't like taking chances. This is a story, I don't know, you probably wouldn't say, probably had bankruptcy problems in the past. They don't want to share their problems. Over here, back to the Three of Wands, the way they do emotionally. This is your person, so you've got to respect their process. But this is someone that they don't want to share their problems with the world. You're just holding on to it here, holding things tight. They may be thrifty, guys. I gotta say, and it's your person. I don't think you're gonna see things at a toxic level with this, unless the one that's right for you does things at a toxic level. That's a whole nother discussion that gets into soulmate hit jobs. But my intention with this reading is the one who's right for you. So I try to look at it positively here. But they're not going to be a spendthrift. They're not going to be someone that's going to run up your credit card and that kind of thing. And it's more than that. It's like a conservation of energy. Like, they don't like wasting their time. They don't like lost causes. They don't like lost causes. They don't, if it's a football game and one team is losing, they won't feel like they want that team to win like I would. No. They're not like that, They don't like to do, they're careful about how they use their energy, really, their energy. They maybe learn, part of the process for them learning was to be careful, this could be like, guarding themselves because they have empathic tendencies, and this would be where the sexual comes in, that's what I was going to say. Because they have these strongly maybe empathic tendencies, and maybe they've learned, and this would be so in their chart, I'm positive, but they've learned over time, how to create boundaries, strong boundaries. This could even be spiritual. To protect themselves from, energetically, from everything from someone who's projecting their shit all over them in a negative way to a spiritual attack, and they may talk about that, some kind of experience like that, sexually. And then romantically, we're going to look for the Mars sign, and I'm thinking Gemini Mars, and there could be Venus Mars, Venus and Scorpio. And I think they're going to be submissive and really like that sexually. And in the relationship, I think they're going to be someone who they want to be able to trust themselves with someone and sort of submit to you. Like, an example, like you're talking to a friend and they want to come over, you all come over dinner on the weekend. You don't have to check back with them. They want you to just handle it. They're not going to be like, because whether you guys are busy or not, and you say yes or no, and then that's fine with them. That kind of submissive. So they're not someone that would put up a fight. So in terms of love too, they're very much going to want to go along. This comes from the past, guys. They don't want the conflict, they don't want the pain. And they're actually willing to put up with too much, I think. Now, it won't be a problem with you. I believe here with this reading, what we're looking at is a positive connection to your soulmate. So, but they may have that tendency. That's going to be a tendency to be the person who gives too much, the person that doesn't have proper boundaries, allows people to take advantage of them. And that's kind of the negative. And actually, if you can move this energy just into the sexual realm, it's a lot is fine there, and maybe that gets some of it out, which means maybe them being submissive or something, whatever they want, like along those lines, because it's going to be good for you. Again, we're not talking about a toxic situation, but you're looking at a very complex personality here, many layers, and it's got to be a little bit older. I don't think you get like this at 19 here. You know, they got to have some life behind them, and they've learned a lot. You know, a lot of coping mechanisms and, for themselves. What works for them here, Capricorns. So listen, appreciate it. Helps a lot, and you know, join us on Facebook. Remember that Friday's always Sagittarius and Capricorn Day. Have a good one.